Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, we are going to talk about all the things you must do to prepare yourself for your journey abroad. So that includes a passport, renewing your passports, getting virtual mailboxes. What are you going to do about your cell phone plan? Insurance? Are you going to ship, store stuff? So we'll break all those things down in this video. Stay tuned. Hey guys, this is Doc and Bean, and we are back just to fill you guys in on all the stuff we still have left to do on our journey to Thailand.
So we've been doing the paperwork stuff.
Yeah, all the
Been busy.
paperwork.
Starting with passport renewal.
Yeah, so one of the things you kind of want to do is make sure your passport is valid, but valid for a while for us, because my passport is expiring next year. Yours is in like a couple years.
3 years.
And for us, we're probably not going to be around in America to do it. And I know you can do it overseas, but for us, it's like, why even have the hassle? We'll just do it so we have the fresh 10 years to start with again. So that's what we're doing. And we both kind of had to do it different because for you can just renew it online.
Actually, I can't
Oh.
renew it online because you need to have less than 1 year left
for you to be able
for
to
the renew online. You have less than 1 year, but you have a name change.
I have a name change.
And I have 3 years left. So I'll probably just keep it.
Okay.
I'll probably just keep it for another 2 years and then renew.
So for me, I actually had to, fill out the application, print it out. You could actually fill it out online, print it out. We had to go to the library to print it out, of course, because we sold our printer. And then I went to USPS and just, gave them all the documents. It's pretty streamlined, takes the 6 to 8 weeks, all that stuff to come back. But because we travel so much and it's the same price, we opted out for the 52-page book instead of the 28-page. It's free. It's the same price.
Yeah. So if you
Why
didn't
not?
know that you can get a bigger book.
Yes.
A bigger passport book with more pages if you travel a lot. And it's the same price as the regular book.
Right. So that's what we did. So passport, check.
All right. Next, what we did. I don't know if people would do this or might want to do this, but what we did is we got our international driver's license.
Right. And people would like you do this. You might not need it to ride scooters and stuff in Thailand or certain places, but in other countries you go to, if you want to drive, rent a car, you're going to need it. Even like when we were there, the guy was telling us a lot of people that goes to Japan and want to do the Mario Kart, you actually have to have this. So
how do we do it?
You go to AAA. That's the easiest way to do it. You go into AAA and they actually do everything for you. It was very simple. You go in, you fill out the application there. They take your passport photos because you need that. The guy was really nice. But you pay, I think it's around $20 and then the price of the photos as well. But yeah, it was pretty simple. If you're overseas, you can also renew it. So, if you're thinking like, man, I'm constantly going to need this, you can renew it and then they'll ship it to you. It usually takes like 6 to 7 weeks. So that was pretty simple. Yeah.
Yeah, another thing we did was we got a virtual mailbox.
Yeah, a virtual mailbox. And for those who's like, what is that? Because I didn't know it existed before this happened. Like I didn't know. But it's a digital mail service. And they open your mail for you. They can scan it so you can see it. Some of them will even accept checks and all this stuff. So it's just a digital mail service, right? And you can even get a street address because, for certain companies like banks, if you're moving, they want a physical address. They're not going to use a PO box. So then you get a virtual mailbox. So we got one, and there's quite a few companies you can use, like Anytime Mailbox, Traveling Mailbox, but I found one physicaladdress.com because it was pretty reasonable. And it's a smaller company. You kind of have to find one that's in your area. So bigger companies like Anytime or something, they have like 2,500 locations. But this one, they don't have as many locations, but it's cheaper. So physical address, yeah, we was pretty, good with them. The only thing you really need to do is nobody else can open your mail. So you actually have to give them permission to open your mail. So you have to complete like the USPS form 1583 and then get it notarized for them to be able to open your mail. Now, the good thing about this is that they could do everything for you on the physical address. Like they'll set up an online notary, which is another thing I didn't know you can do. And then you pay about, $20 for the notary online. And then, so it was pretty seamless, honestly. Yeah. And then we just updated all our addresses and stuff to this physicaladdress.com. So, you can start transferring everything, that needs an address to that one.
Yeah.
So.
If you actually get mail, not a lot of people get mail
Right.
anymore. You don't really need physical papers that much anymore.
Yeah. Because it's been pushing to go to paperless for quite some time now.
This is really to have a physical address in the country for really banking purposes.
Yeah, or taxes, whatever tax. Yeah.
LLC. It's really for that reason. It's not necessarily for mail. Yeah. But it's for business reasons. Right. So next is banking. Where are you going to put your money? What we did is we have a Schwab account with 3 accounts in the Schwab. We have 2 separate and a joint. And we also have a WISE.
A WISE. Okay. Yeah. So the good thing about Schwab is that they have no foreign transaction fees, right, on any purchase and unlimited ATM fee reimbursement. So you can take out money as much as you want and they're going to reimburse you on your ATM fees, right? They have no monthly fees, no account minimum. So that's why we like them. And it's just pretty convenient and they're worldwide. That's the most important thing. So, and the reason you would want we want a physical bank in the US is for things like, taxes, your banking, deposits, so you want to have, for us, a US, bank. Because WISE, we also have WISE accounts. WISE is completely online. Yeah. And like a lot of companies or bills, sometimes, it's hard. You don't have a physical location to go into either, but the good thing about this, it's good for like international transfers. And it holds like a lot of different currencies. So if you're going to Thailand, if you're going to, Turkey, anywhere you go, it holds that currency. So not the transaction fees. What am I trying to say?
The transfer fees.
The transfer fees are cheaper, so if you have to convert money. So, yeah. And if you're an expat, if you're a mover and a shaker, and like we gonna be doing, you need options. So those are the 2 we have. And we know about a couple more, but those were the 2 that works for us. Yeah.
So we set those up.
Right. Check.
So that's checked off. Next is we're still making a decision on how are we going to do our phone plans.
Right. Yeah. Because having a phone is important, of course, but with technology and stuff now, to keep connection with WhatsApp and all these stuff, it's so easy to keep the connection. But the easiest thing to do, if you're moving somewhere and it is going to be long term, I think the easiest thing to do would be just get a phone plan there, right? In whatever country you're going to. But for us, we kind of more want to have a US number for several reasons. A lot of times when you have banks and stuff like that to send you authentication codes, they can't send it on a number overseas. It has to be a US based number, right?
And it can be WhatsApp.
It can't be WhatsApp. Like a lot of companies overseas will have WhatsApp, but not many companies here in America have WhatsApp at all. So, you know, you need to have a US based phone number. And just for consistency too, because like I don't want to have to keep telling, you know, friends and family, you know, this is my number, especially if you're like us that travel often. If you go there and you get that SIM card when you go to another country, you know, to visit or on vacation, you have to swap out stuff. And, you know, so to me, I would rather have just a home base number and keep that. So, but how do you do that? Right. So for my phone, Team iPhone, I have an iPhone 13, which has an eSIM slot and a physical SIM.
Is that the old one?
Yeah, because my phone still works. I don't be buying soon as it comes out and it's still, I like iPhone, but I'm not for it. That part I ain't for the new because it still works and it's like what $1,500 or something like that.
$1,500 for a phone.
Yeah. And so I'm not there yet. But the current one I have is good enough for me and it has an eSIM and a physical SIM. So the plan is to store my US based number on the eSIM and then use the when we go to Thailand, use a physical Thailand SIM, you know, for that. That way I still have connection, you know, with my US number and my Thai number. So for your Android.
For my phone, I don't use
First of all,
the phone that much.
Yeah, he's never on his phone. Very rare. The phone is never on his, you know, so
talk on the phone that much or even text on the phone that much.
Yeah.
So
but you plan on getting a new phone, right?
Well, I'll just have a phone that takes eSIM and that's it.
Yeah.
So I'll use the phone as much in another country as I use here, which is not much.
Yeah. Well, we'll even see probably less because on vacation he don't touch his phone at all. It stays in the room when we go outside. Yeah, he don't carry the phone anywhere. But so yeah, and in newer phones you have multiple eSIM slots, so you can get a Thai eSIM and a US eSIM, and you know that's how it works. But couple things you can do. What we're going to do is they have a company called Ultra Mobile, and that's the cheapest we found for international eSIM plans, right? So that's what we are going to use. You can also port your number to like a Google Voice or something, and that's free. You pay a one-time fee for $20. But with Google Voice, you don't get the, you know, authentication codes and stuff like that. So if that's something you need, then you can't use it. But if not, you have a free option, you know, Google Voice. So
next, that's a half a check because we still haven't made up our mind yet. But next is health insurance. Now, this is still a half a check because we don't know if we're going to actually keep insurance or just pay
as we go
out of pocket. We haven't made up our mind yet.
Right. And mainly because we're more on the holistic side, natural, you know, remedies. Health starts with what goes into your mouth type of people, right? So if we do get insurance, it would be for emergency purposes. Fall off a scooter or something, broken hand. So, and then even with that, because we interviewed a couple that, you know, he fell off the scooter, you know, shout out to the Beresfords. And it wasn't that expensive for the emergency care or care afterwards. So if we do get insurance, it would be for that. Because if we got sick or anything like that, we're in the East. Here in America, we go to traditional Chinese medicine doctors anyway. So being that we're in the East, we would go to a doctor that is like, would give us some herbs or, you know, something to help that actually helps instead of, you know, we're not going to go there. But yeah, and we've always used what's the safety wing.
Safety wing.
So we've kind of always used safety wing for our travel insurance. And so it's basically up to you what your needs are. There are quite a few companies out there, but if you need, prescriptions, if you want, regular doctor checkups and stuff like that, if you want private care, but Thailand's care is one of the top in the world, really. So, that's basically up to you. Do some research on it, but we like safety wing.
All right. So, check.
Check. Well, half a check.
Half a check.
Yeah.
Next is storing and shipping your things.
Right.
Now, this is not really applying to us that much because we're not storing anything.
Right.
And we're not really going to ship anything.
No.
We're going to take a juicer,
A Vitamix.
and a Vitamix, and then clothes.
Right.
That's about it.
Hair products. And it's going to be like one suitcase for like clothes, shoes, some of the stuff, and like, the Vitamix. We have to figure out how to fit that in a suitcase and take it because we're not going to ship anything. But this is something that would be on your checklist to do, right? Figuring out if you're going to go to a storage unit or something like that. But this is extra costs now, monthly costs that you would have to add in to what you're doing. Do you want to pay a storage fees? And the cheapest is like, $80, $90 sometimes. So
yeah, we're not paying any of that. We're
not
just taking our suitcases and our little bit of stuff, and that's it.
Yeah. And shipping. So I know a lot of people that ship stuff. Like I have a girlfriend in Germany, and she was telling me about certain companies that she used. But you have to figure out if it's worth it. What you're going to ship, can you get it over there? Is it even worth trying to bring it overseas? But you can send it air freight, sea freight, which is cheaper, or like different carrier services. And we would just say compare it. They have like actual shipping calculators we found, like Freightos or Shipley, that can give you a good estimate on what you would spend. So yeah.
All right, so that was our next step. That was our next step, the paperwork and the logistics.
Yeah.
We got more stuff to do, but that was just the next step.
We was just keeping you guys posted. But you know what? Let us know if there's anything like you would think is like, man, I'm not sure about, or yeah, leave it in the comments. Let us know what you would look at as a problem or a hiccup in your journey, which you would, want more information on too. But
That's it.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So like, share, subscribe, yeah.
Peace.
See you guys.